Hello everyone, and welcome to another Let's Play of Long Live the Queen by Hanako Games. My name is Anna Mardal, and today we are going to take the ending where we sacrifice Charlotte to the Kraken that you inadvertently summon when you use your lumen powers to defeat the invading Shanjian naval fleet. This walkthrough was sent to me by one of our viewers, Aroc. Everyone say hi, thank you, or I guess I'll spell it because I might be saying it wrong, Aaroc. But thank you, Aroc. When you finish this game, any of you that have it, there is an option to view your log file, and it'll save it somewhere locally on your computer, and you can open it and copy and paste it all, and you can put it in an email, you can put it on your blog, you can share it, and in theory, somebody should be able to just go through and make the same choices you made the entire way through. What I've done is I played through the scenario that Eric sent me. I made a few tweaks and changes. It's not optimized for every single choice, but it gets us the ending we want. What I would like to do at some point is I found a cheats console list of console cheats that you can put into your game, and I would like at some point to do a let's play where we go through with full stats to start with, if I can figure that out, just because there are some checks that we always fail, and it frustrates me because I want to get the check, but I want to see what happens, but I can't because I'm too busy doing other things. So I would like to do that sometime, but that's a future thing for me to figure out. And also, while I'm doing business up front, people ask if I'm still doing the series. Right now we're kind of achievement hunting. There's a few achievements that I still don't have. One of them was the needs of the many for sacrificing Charlotte. We're gonna get that today, and there's still, you know, some other ones that I'd like to get. And after that, I don't know. Like once I've done literally everything there is to do, I don't know if there's any point in still making videos. I know they're very popular and everyone likes them, which is great and amazing. But we'll see how it goes from there. But all right, let's get into this. This is a high cruelty playthrough, by the way. There's a hidden stat for Elodie called cruelty, which is built up by her actions. If she's mean or arbitrary or hunts a lot and kills a lot of fuzzy animals, she becomes more inured to violence, and that opens up new options at various points. One of the options it opens up is sacrificing Charlotte, if you know all the information you need to know about Charlotte. So some people don't like high cruelty runs. They're not super fun for me. I feel bad being cruel. So if that's, you know, triggering for you, then you may not want to watch this. So start game. And I know you've all seen the playthroughs. I know a lot of this is repeat. I'm gonna try to strike that balance of still reading the things but not reading all the things. This is Jocelyn, Duke of Taleris. He's your dad. We're almost home. Your room is just the way you left it. I know it's hard to leave your school and all your friends, but I've arranged for the best possible tutors on every subject. You'll have to work hard this year to prepare yourself before your 15th birthday, but I know you can do it. So this is Elodie. This is us. She's 14 years old, and we have to keep her alive until she's 15 and coronated as queen of this country. Played it before. So we're gonna say we are going to say we're gonna study trade and production in the morning, and we're actually gonna be doing that for a while because we want to get to the point where we can start learning accounting, so we can get into the treasury early, so we can get our lumen crystal, because this is a high magic playthrough. There's a lot of magic that's going to be happening. So this is trade. You learn that even the smallest of the villages has a central market. This is production, or I may have had it the other way around. You learn that Sunset Bay off the coast of Duchy Mazomba is a prime location for fishing. I have mentioned this before. I love how rich and detailed all the lore and history for this game is. I'm really impressed at what Hanako Games has done. I would read a book in this setting. It's like Game of Thrones, but with lots more girls. I love it. What's all that noise outside? Who's here? Oh, it's my cousins and my aunt and uncle. Lucille, Countess of Nyx. Darling, we were so terribly sorry to hear about your mother Fidelia. Thank you. Laurent, Duke of Merva. You look well, niece. Charlotte, Lady Merva. Mommy said we'll be here all month. Charlotte is the person we will be sacrificing by the end of this playthrough, so don't get too attached to her. Maybe we'll have time to talk later. So we're going to go visit Charlotte. I love this room. It's so much bigger than mine back home. I know your brother and sister are still too young, but why haven't you come to school? My mother worries about me. She doesn't think anywhere but home is safe. So I'm going to do a thing. And that thing is I'm going to save this SC, Sacrifice Charlotte. I'm going to save religiously because I've been having troubles with this particular playthrough. So, off camera and hopefully not in this recording. But I had a previous one where something went horribly wrong. So we're trying this again properly. Okay, so we're going to do trade and production again. And we learn that individual paddlers travel between villages. And we learn how farmers in the Duchy of Marie rotate between fields. What's that commotion outside? Father, what's going on? This is Juliana, Duchess of Versul. I have come to pay my respects in honor of your mother. You have no respect or honor. It's because of you and your powers that my wife is dead. I am a lumen, as was she, and like every lumen, I am willing to give my life if necessary to protect our domain. Your line has been traitors for 200 years. I won't have you corrupting my daughter. So we have to arrest her, and that's just how it is. I will tell you why in a moment. We are going to go visit Charlotte again. What do you know about lumens? Why? Dad was really angry at the Duchess of Versul. Mummy says people are scared of lumens because they're jealous. There used to be lots of them in Nova, but there aren't anymore. I don't know why. Maybe someone burned them. So we are going to study trade and production again. Normally we have mood bonuses to our classes, and so it doesn't take this long to get them above 25, but we didn't have a mood bonus for economics, and like I said, I didn't optimize this as well as I probably could have. The most important trade route in the domain is the Cavella River. It travels through the center of your lands, and almost every duchy contains tributaries that feed into the Cavella. You learn that most of the domain's iron is mined in Sudbury and transported west by the Goan River to Cavella. He loves me not. You gather your skirts and prepare to sit down when all of a sudden a hissing noise alerts you to a hidden danger. Okay, so the reason we arrested Juliana earlier was if she was not stuck in a dungeon right now, she would interfere with this scene, and we need her not to in order to get the Sacrifice Charlotte ending. Charlotte, don't move! You grab for a stick to push the snake away, but you lack the skills to do the job properly, and poking the snake only makes it angry. Too fast to see, it lunges forward and sinks its fangs into your leg. That's a milk viper! They're poisonous! Hold on! Your cousin kneels beside you and presses her hands over the bite mark. The area throbs painfully, then begins to feel warm. After a minute, you're dizzy, but your leg isn't buzzing anymore, and even the wound has disappeared. I'm not supposed to tell anybody. People think it's freaky. You won't tell, will you? So, we needed to see that Charlotte has magical powers. And what we're going to do now is we're going to check my notes. We are going to go to the castle dungeons to free Juliana. Caution is wise for one in your position. Hasty judgments can lead to trouble. Are you ready to listen now? Is the responsibility of the king or queen of Nova to handle magic energies to protect the domain. What he said was that your mother died by magic. Being a lumen is never safe. We pay a high price for our powers. So we're going to free her. Come to me in my rooms as soon as you can to begin your training. And then we're going to save our king. And we are going to switch over to faith. I know we've been trying to get economics, but right now we've got an afraid bonus for faith, so we're going to study lore. That will come in handy later. Only a lumen can channel magic, and only with the help of an attuned crystal. The ability to control a crystal seems to be inherited, so crystals can pass from parent to child upon the lumen's death. The kings and queens of Noma have all been lumens for centuries, but in modern times magic is only used for ceremonial occasions and the direst of emergencies. So, and the third one was that there used to be a magical civil war in another kingdom, and the magic just wrecked the kingdom into, you can't even go there now. What is it you wanted to teach me? I need to know if you have your mother's crystal. A lumen crystal? No. So we're missing our crystal and we have to go get it. Which y'all already know because we've played this before. So we're going to study divination in the morning. Anything. Divination all day. One of the maids approaches you for your attention. The Duke of Sedna has sent a letter and a necklace, which we are going to wear, not knowing what it means. We're going to go visit our father. Dad, what happened to Mom's lumen crystal? It's in a safe place. Can I have it? No. But it's mine. Meddling with magic killed your mother. I don't want that to happen to you. Once you're crowned queen, I can't stop you from doing anything you want. But for now, you are still a child. I am frustrated with Jocelyn for stopping us because it means we have to, do a bunch of stuff to get at our crystal. But it is interesting to me considering how rarely he gainsays you that he does so here and now, which kind of shows just how strongly he feels about the fact that your mother died because of magic. Which is sweet and sad, but also really annoying because we can't get in to get a crystal. So we're going to study meditation while we have our afraid bonus for lore. You spot a familiar figure in the gardens. It's the Duchess of Rasul. Maybe I should go and say hello. Then you notice that seated beside her is a woman in the robes of a priestess. They are very close together, their hands touching as they speak. Looks like she's busy. So we see somebody and we're going to go run and hide. And then we're going to go talk to Juliana. My father says I can't have the crystal until I'm queen, so I'll just have to wait. The world is filled with dangers, and you need the powers of a lumen to fight them. You can't begin training until you have bonded with your crystal. The crystal is probably held under guard in the royal treasury. You are the princess. You should be able to find a way inside. So I'll say I'll try to find a way. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the priestess robe just because we have it. I love the robe. I want pajamas that look like that. And we're gonna do another round of meditation. I'm not sure what we're gonna use it for, but I have faith that it's there for a reason. A maid runs into you and we're going to punish her because this is a cruelty run through. And so we attend service in the Castle Grove, letting the peace of the ritual calm your heart. We are now willful. You can see it in our face. And so it gives us a boost to intrigue and military and lumen. And right now we are going to take strategy. We'll need it in a few minutes. Okay. There is a man here who wishes to see you. He wants crown funding. This is the printing press guy. And since we have trade and production, we can say, hey, that's an important invention. We will invest in it, which is good. And it helps give a happy ending. We are going to pay respects to Mother's tomb and wonder if the same fate is waiting you. Poor Elodie, so grim. And then we are going to save our game again. All right, we are going to go back to economics and study accounting. We need this in order to get into the treasury. The Duke of Marie is coming. Your Highness, my sympathies for your loss. I must call for your aid. The Ixionite occupation of the country of Ibrian has gone on for too long. Now is the time to push back. So we don't have any of the details, but we do know we have plenty of troops, and it shouldn't be that hard to drive them out if we want to make a fight of it. So we're going to go ahead and try to negotiate. There must be a peaceful way to settle this. Your Highness, if I may ask, that necklace you're wearing, where did it come from? It was a gift from the Duke of Sedna. Then you have made arrangements with him? Your Highness, this is a courting gift. The man wishes to gain your hand in marriage. So, oh, I didn't realize. We're going to go to Mom's tomb again. And we're going to study, we're going to put on our tuxedo. Little known fact, tuxedos help you with math. We are going to study accounting again. There we go. The representative from Ixion is here. Be careful. No one wants to give up prizes they have won. You have the full support of my sister and myself, Your Highness. Let's get this over with. I love Bryn. So, again, this is a high cruelty run. We're going to execute the ambassador. Off with his head. Ship that back to Ixion. If they know what's good for them, they'll get out of my way. Now we're going to visit the treasury. You overwhelm the guards with facts and figures, explaining that you need treasury access to adjust the royal budget, which may affect their pay packets as well as the taxes assessed on their friends and family. They stand aside. So you're drawn to your crystal, and we've got it now. Okay, so what we're going to do now, according to my notes, is... I'm always so tempted to dive off from my notes. In my notes, we spent the week doing dance. And it was not something that we needed anytime soon. Whereas I do think we could stand to use some lore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save here because I've learned my lesson. We're going to save. And we're about 18 minutes in, so if I have to cut out anything that doesn't work, I can do that too. And I'm going to look at our mood. Depression is a bonus to expression and animal handling. I'm going to go ahead and take floor classes. This may be a horrible mistake, but I don't think it is. Legend has it a horde of Yeveni on the back of a tentacled monster rode into the Valley of Mead. The island domain of Malini was once a single island instead of a cluster. At the height of the Novan Empire, all major dukes and duchesses were lumens. Okay. You receive a report on the battle. You succeeded in driving them out of Marie, but it cost you about 3/4 of a battalion of soldiers and a great deal of material. You also receive a letter informing you that Taleris, Duke of Sedna, will be arriving for an official visit next week. So we're going to visit Juliana, and we're going to go ahead and get our crystal. Alright, we are now Magical Girl. The priestess here is a friend of mine. I will come to your lessons in the faith and train you to use your powers. Excellent. So we are right now willful, which gives us a bonus to intrigue, military, and lumen, which is awesome. So for our classes, we are going to do Wielding magic. Taleris, the Duke of Sedna, is here. I really like him, and he's, I think, a good example of how some of the added material is really amazing. There was a few parts of the updates that I've complained about before, like making it so you have to have economics and accounting in order to keep taxes the same, which I feel is kind of strained attempt to make everybody train in that. But one of the things that was added was Taleris was given this beautiful face and beautiful purple hair, and I believe later was added, I hadn't experienced it before this playthrough, and now we get to, he gets to come to the ball, the gala ball that happens later on if you're betrothed to him. So that's exciting. Ah, Your Highness, what a pleasure it is to meet you in person at last. Your description did not do you justice. I don't know how to deal with handsome older men paying me compliments. I was so pleased to hear that you had accepted my humble offering. A jewel for a jewel, but you are the more precious. I hope that this is only the beginning of a mutually beneficial relationship. A union between us would bring stability to both our people. He really does want to marry me. So we're going to go ahead and accept. I would be honored. Elodie, Your Grace, are you not aware that my daughter has only 14 summers? It's my decision. A betrothal only, of course. There is no need for hurry. You have your coronation to plan for after all. If I might be of service in any way, please send for me. I will be happy to offer my protection or advice. I actually like how smart he is being here. And I've talked in the past about how much I like Banyan because he is smart and conniving, but I think Taleris is also very smart. He's wrapped up a betrothal that has the potential to be one of the best matches he could make with this queen of this neighboring kingdom. But he's not rushing into anything. So if we royally screw everything up and get ourselves killed or deposed or whatever, he's not really embroiled in that. So he's maneuvering in a really intelligent way to potentially reap a lot of benefits, but not get hit by the blowback if we do horribly in our playthrough. And I respect that. That's smart. So we are going to... I'm making a face because my notes say we sat in on court sessions. I thought we went and talked to our dad. I was really sure we went and talked to our dad. My notes say we didn't. That we went to court instead. Court will give us 2 yielding, 1 depressed, and a pressured. Which will keep us at willful, but it'll bring pressured really close. And we want to stay willful. Tentatively, we're gonna go talk to our father. Dad, if this trouble with Ixion started years ago, why didn't Mom fix it? Your mother told the Duke of Marie and the Duchess of Hellas that it was their problem and they should sort it out themselves. Should I have done that? The situation is different now. Everyone on all sides wishes to see what sort of queen is coming to the throne. Okay, so that was actually... Okay. That was about the same mood adjustment if we'd gone to court anyway, I feel. So, classes, we're going to take resist magic. You are requested to stand in judgment. A woman has been convicted of attempted murder. Alright, here we go. Your Highness, This slattern dares to beg my pardon when she admits that she tried to poison my sister under her own roof. So we don't have any of the necessary history or intrigue to know what's going on. And furthermore, we're trying to be cruel, and we don't want to upset the nobles in this playthrough. So he wants her dead, we're going to say execute her. As she is clearly guilty, her life is forfeit. She will be hanged in public as deterrent to other criminals. Your missile flies wide at the mark. Get that out of here. Put it on display so everyone sees what happens to criminals. I am a little alarmed because I've gone through this twice now in an attempt at a Let's Play. My first effort I've actually scrapped. Because at this point in my playthrough, I was able to go talk to Juliana, Duchess of Versailles. And you may say, well, why does it matter if you can't go talk to her? Because, I mean, it's not like her conversation is that important. But it actually is, because the conversation is about Charlotte, and it's a necessary step to sacrificing Charlotte. So the fact that I'm playing identically, and you say, oh, well, you made some changes. And the first time around, I did play identically. So anyway, the fact that I no matter what I do, I can't seem to get that again at this point is alarming, because I was expecting to have that conversation open up right here. So we're going to keep playing, and we're going to hope really hard that the Juliana option will show up. I know that we want to continue working on magic, which means we want to continue staying willful. It's just weird because unless the game updated, and changed something, the path should be the same. So I'm a little alarmed that my saved path isn't working. So let's go ahead and we can visit the dungeons, because that brings up that's our cruelty. You sneak down to the castle dungeons and amuse yourself by poking the locked up peasants with sticks. So for classes, we're going to go ahead and do sense magic. And here's where we stand on the magic front right now. And we're about to open the unlock the magical girl outfit. There it is, new outfit. So you're walking in the gardens, you look up to see an owl overhead. We don't have the divination to do anything about it. And so there's reports that a Keithong's been sighted. The old forest is the area by Catherine Lake where the capital was until it was destroyed by monsters. So we got a lore bonus there. So there's a monster loose and nobody knows what to do about it. Great. We are going to right now attend services. And we're going to put on our lumen outfit. And for this week, we are going to do some more sense magic. We need to max that out. And we're going to pray that Juliana visit shows up. Remember that the festival of the good lady is approaching. There will be public celebrations, a grand ball, there will be dancing. Will the Duke of Sedna attend the gala? It is a traditional Nova event. Inviting your fiancé might be seen as a statement. We will invite Taleris. If I'm going to marry him, it's a statement I ought to send. As you wish. So we get to have some pamphlets made up. And for the printing press, I'm going to choose pro-lumen propaganda because I feel like we're going to need it to cancel out some of the stuff we're going to be doing. So let's do pro-lumen propaganda. I think the people of Nova don't have enough respect for magic users. I want to print pamphlets about lumens. I want to show everyone how magic can do good things. As you wish. There's a letter from Briony. And there's still no option to visit Juliana. Okay. I'm a little worried about that. We're going to... Too yielding. Depressed. Pressured. I don't want to be pressured. We need to bring that down. Lonely and cheerful will do. We'll play with toys. Week 16. We're gonna take one more class in Sense Magic to max it out, and another class in Resist Magic. I'm worried. I really don't know why the Juliana conversation is not showing up with Charlotte, because I've done this 2 times now. Once exactly following my notes, and the reason I dumped dance for lore was I thought maybe I needed more lore. So this is kind of concernful to me. There's a parade. I would rather not go. I'll stay here. My lady, what are you... Should you not be in the procession? It's a major festival, but there are other ways to celebrate. So we could make a religious excuse. We're gonna yell at her instead. Because we're cruel. And we're gonna pay in respects to the mother's tomb to bring down our... Week 17. We've got 2 resist magics coming in. Yes. There's one. And now we're full on resist magic. Are you ready for the grand ball? All the nobles in the domain are here to see you, to see their queen. You finish dressing and descend the stairs to make a grand entrance. All around you, the rich and powerful pause in their activities to gaze upon you, the ruler of them all. So we dance with their father. He guides you gently around the dance floor. And now, this is new. The Taleris, the Duke of Sedna, says, I believe the next turn is mine. He bows gracefully and offers you his hand, then leans close to whisper a quick question. Do you know how to dance? Nod or shake your head. So, I actually really like this because we've done dancing before, and I've always stepped on people's feet and have not liked that. So if you shake your head, he guides you really carefully and gently through a simple dance where you won't embarrass yourself, which to me is very sweet and touching. But again, it also ties into him being very smart in that he recognizes that you're 14 years old, he recognizes that you don't know everything, and he's trying to help you. Now, I did notice, and I thought this was interesting, in the ending that I got on the notes that aren't working for me now, I must not cry, I must not worry, in the ending that I got, he... when we got married, was noted in the epilogue as kind of giving Elodie playthings like horses and such, and encouraging her to kind of amuse herself, while he kind of got a little bit more political power for himself and wasn't in any kind of rush to make an heir with her or anything like that. I wonder if that ending is sort of determined by what you do here, where maybe if you say that you do know how to dance and you dazzle everybody with the dancing skill that we don't have, or maybe if you step on his foot, maybe that changes the relationship of the nature of your relationship later. I would bet that it does. I haven't checked. So right now we're going to shake our head. We don't know how to dance. You shake your head slightly, your hair swaying. Watch me, I'll go slowly. Dancing with a real partner feels quite different from dancing with your father, especially when the man in front of you is the one you have agreed to marry. His touch is gentle, his every move carefully signaled to be sure that you don't miss the beat. Is this what your marriage will be like? Between dances, there's time to talk. Banyan is going to give a speech. He's happy because our borders were defended. You get to see some people that you don't get to see very often. Your aunt and uncle are here. There's itching at your senses, something familiar. Then it hits you. Aunt Lucille is a lumen. We're going to go talk to her. Aunt Lucille, may I speak with you privately? Of course, dear. You withdraw to a small side room. I can sense your powers. You're a lumen. What? I am too. That's how I know. Can't you sense that? No. No, I can't. I do have a lumen crystal. I found it years ago. It called to me. But I don't know anything about magic. I can make the crystal appear and disappear, and I can block out sound with it. That's all. I don't think that's true. There are traces of old magic around her, too faint to make sense of but strong. Why keep it hidden? It's not illegal to be a lumen. Magic is dangerous. Everyone knows that. People might think I was an evil witch. They wouldn't trust me. Look at how much trouble the Duchess of Azul has. Please, Your Highness, don't tell anyone. So I believe that if you say offer her court position, what I think I should tell everyone is that you are my new lumen minister. What? Lumens have power. If you train with me, you'll become even stronger. I want that strength here to defend the capital. You'll have status and recognition, and no one will dare call you a witch. What do you say? I accept. So, we're not going to stick with that. But, oh, I wondered. Earlier when we invited the Duke of Taleris, we had a failure of conversation. I didn't know what that meant. And he says, you have my most fulsome thanks for the invitation to this event. However, you may wish to spend more time with the scribes before corresponding and writing with the other nobles. Some may not appreciate your unique sense of phrasing. Wonderful. I sounded like a fool. That's sweet. And again, I really like that. I really like the character. I really like Taleris. I like how smart he is. I like how kind he is. I like how polite he's able to phrase things, how politely. He's very careful not to embarrass Elodie. I do think that all of this is potentially calculated and not just out of the goodness of his heart. He does benefit from all these things. He's going to benefit very well if Elodie can be shaped into the kind of queen that she needs to be. So I don't think he's just doing this for altruistic reasons, but I think that's fine. You know, I don't mind that. I think it's great that he's an interesting character in that regard. But we're going to miss that conversation because what we're actually going to do when I loaded the game is we're going back to the Lucille conversation and we're going to accuse her of hiding something. We kind of need to get her killed in this round through because I'm pretty sure that if we sacrifice Charlotte while she's still alive, she will kill us. So we don't want to do that. I don't think you're weak at all. I think there's something else you're hiding. You open your mouth to answer her and find yourself unable to speak or move. My power isn't like your power, little princess. I control the absence of things. Sound, light, life. But you dying now would be too suspicious. Instead, you're going to have a very unfortunate accident. You will remain alive and helpless until everyone gives up hope of your recovery, and then you will die. That's what you think. So we got resist magic. And there's a blowback. When you remove again, you find your aunt lying lifeless on the ground, a glimmering purple crystal beside her. Aunt Lucille was an evil lumen. She attacked me. It's all right. She's gone now. And we still can't. I'm going to cry. I do not understand why there was a whole conversation. I could read it to you of the conversation that we have with Juliana, where Elodie goes to her and says, magical powers are connected to lumen crystals, right? But I can make myself glow by concentrating the right way, and it doesn't feel like it uses the crystal at all. That's a meditation power. I know what we did wrong. And I wouldn't have known if I hadn't read it to you out loud. Okay, it's alright, we got it. I can do this. So what we're gonna do is We need to come back from being depressed. So we're gonna play with our toys. I can do this, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. It might be too late, we might need to load, but I know it's wrong. Wait, so if I put on the boarding school uniform, my meditation is 78. If I've got the priestess robe, it's 80. Oh, fudge sickles. It's okay though. I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what it is. Okay, so we're gonna try to keep going forward, but we might have to reload. We're gonna study horses because we're depressed, and we need horses to unlock hunting, but animal handling has a depression bonus. This is Siren, and we don't really care about Siren. We're gonna shame her with silent scorn. We're not gonna be any good at it. We're moving, we're continuing on. I need to figure out. Okay. There's a scream from the hallway. Rushing out, you find a young squire. Okay, so if we visit Juliana now, it's gonna... All right. So what we need to do is we need to reload back to... God, I am so sorry, you guys. But I know now what we need to do. So... we missed it around... going into week 13. No, I don't want to write. I don't want to save. I want to load. Yes. So on week 13, we went and talked to our father. Zoom. So I'm going to put on the faith outfit. And I missed that. And it even says that in my notes. But it's literally, please forgive me. It's literally the log that gets dumped out is 13,000 words. And I'm having to glance at it while I'm doing the choices so I can do the right choices. And I missed that I needed to put on the faith outfit. And it is my fault. And I'm so sorry. If I had any self-respect at all, I would start over this playthrough, but I I don't. We're just gonna barrel through. So in week 13, we studied resist magic. Yes, we did. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead. Execute the mean woman. There it is. We figured it out. We figured it out together. In order to get the conversation with Juliana about Charlotte, we have to have an 80 meditation, not necessarily through classes, but with the help of the faith robe. And that explains why we were spending so much time on meditation. Here we go. There's something I don't understand. What is it? Magical powers are connected to lumen crystals, right? That is correct. But I can make myself glow by concentrating the right way, and it doesn't feel like it uses the crystal at all. Let me see. You concentrate and your skin begins to glimmer. You're right. It's not proper magic. It's something else. Is that bad? She holds her hands above your shoulders, moving slowly down your arms. I sense no danger. Ignore it. It is a distraction. So we're gonna say keep pushing. There are a million magical secrets I don't know, but I'm trying to learn. This one affects me personally. I need to know what's causing it. Very well. If I had to guess, I suspect it has something to do with your mother's powers. She was already a lumen when she bore you. Some small trickle of that energy may have passed into you. So the daughter of an active lumen might have strange powers. Charlotte! What? She... Just in time, you remembered you promised Charlotte you wouldn't tell anyone about our healing powers. She is your cousin, after all. Maybe it's just something that runs in the blood. but you think you'd better write to her and see if you can find out more. Okay, and that actually probably will change a few things that happen, because I think the letter might be intercepted by her evil mother. So we're going to study sense magic. Yes, classes, go. You've unlocked a new outfit. Your father is waiting for you. There's a key thong. We're gonna skip ahead. So we visit the dungeons to poke peasants with sticks, poor fools. And here we're going to put on the lumen outfit. We're gonna study sense magic again in the morning and afternoon. Oh, it feels so good to figure that out. So good. Y'all, I was stressing so much. So we're going to invite Taleris. We're going to make pro-lumen propaganda. What was the strategy? Huh. I'm not sure. And we're going to continue forward. And we're going to have a walk in the fresh air in the gardens. Yes. We're going to study sense magic in the morning and resist magic in the afternoon. Go. Today is the procession. I would rather not go. I'm going to yell at the maid for cruelty points. And then we're going to visit our mother's tomb. Week 17. Classes. Resist magic. More resist magic. Done. That should max us out. Good. Are you ready for the grand ball? So I'm going to skip ahead. I'm going to shake my head that I don't know how to dance. And I am going to talk to my aunt. And I am going to accuse her of hiding something. And she is going to die from magical blowback because I have amazing resist magic. Okay, now we are back on the track that I wanted to be. Sorry for that detour. So we're gonna play with our toys over the weekend. We are depressed, so we're going to learn horses while we have the bonus to animal handling. We are going to go downstairs and meet Siren. We're going to shame her with silent scorn and fail at it. This is the path that you have set us on. What do you mean? Your actions have made everyone think about preparations for the future. Taleris needs an heir. You're my brother. And it's funny, doing that, the actions he's talking about is getting betrothed, which I think is a little silly because people weren't thinking about heirs until a 14-year-old got betrothed, but okay. My brother, your uncle Armand, is looking for a wife as well. One of us must produce children. We all have to do things we don't want to do. As all of a sudden, there is a scream from the hallway. Running outside, you find a young squire lying on the floor. An amorphous black shape, like the imprint of a monstrous hand, surrounds his neck. He is not moving. Before your eyes, the darkness fades away, leaving only ordinary bruises and a body. It doesn't feel like a spell. Not a lumen spell, anyway. A magical monster? Everywhere you look, there are shadows, and any one of them might be dangerous. So with that new experience under our belts, we are going to visit Juliana. I'm scared. What has happened? First, my aunt turned out to be a lumen and attacked me. And now this mysterious darkness is killing people. Your aunt, tell me everything. You explain the encounter with the Countess of Nyx at the gala, how she tried to ensorcel you and you drove back her magic with your own, killing her in the process. Then you describe the living shadow which strangled a squire and vanished before your eyes. A creeping shade. I'll take care of it. Don't worry. No one else will die. What's a creeping shade? Why is it here? What am I supposed to do about it? It is your responsibility to study and become a queen. It is my responsibility to deal with dangers like this. You are distracting yourself and me. You are wasting my time and putting others at risk. Sorry. Go. Do what you do. I will do what I do. Alright. We're still depressed. We're going to take dogs. Duckies. For the record, I think it is wrong of Juliana to not tell us more. Because I think it would help us govern better. It is time to adjust the taxes. We have enough accounting. You can't imagine any reason you would need to spend so much. You could afford to lower taxes. Any trade disruptions shouldn't need more than a few hundred lassie to sort it out, at least temporarily. We're going to keep them the same. I think they're fine as they are. And we're going to attend church services. And we're going to study falcons, because we're still depressed. And we need horses anyway to unlock hunting, which ups our cruelty. You requested to stand in judgment. A man has been convicted of murder. So, demons. This man is a lumen. Where did he get a crystal? We're going to question him about the crystal. It was demon's magic that killed your wife? Not your own magic? And he's going to try to kill us. But we have enough resist magic that it's not a problem. But after a moment, an orange crystal materializes by his body. I guess I'll have to take that for safekeeping. And we are going to visit the dungeons. Juliana is open. We're not going there yet. We're not going there yet. I made that mistake. We're not going to do it in a previous playthrough. We have to get some more skills first. Saving games. All right. We have opened the hunting coat, and we are going to take some more horses in order to open hunting as a weekend activity. You can now hunt on weekends. There we go. My lady, there is a letter for you. It is a poem. It's hilarious. And we don't care about it. And now we're going to go hunting. -2 to angry, +1 to cheerful. You take out some of your frustrations on helpless prey animals. You feel somewhat happier and less angry. Alright, we are back to willful, as you can see from our beautiful willful face. And we are going to go back to... Normally we study lore. I previously jumped ahead and already studied lore. So we're going to go ahead and study lore, but we may need to make some mild adjustments as we go. There's our lore. 200 years ago, a great force of darkness covered Nova, threatening to wipe out all life in the domain. It took the self-sacrifice of the Queen and her complement of lumens to defeat that doom. Only the Duke of Ursul refused to join in the defense and therefore survived. A lumen once tried to lift the curse from an enchanted spring whose water was poisonous and glowed green. After dispelling the magic, she tasted the water and fell dead. The green glow was not a curse, but a spell placed by a lumen long before to warn everyone away from the spring's natural poison. A lumen may willingly surrender control of his or her magic to another. That was how the Novan Empire came to dominate the world, a growing force of lumens focused on a single ruler, granting that king or queen immense power. It is now believed that strong magical powers attract danger. After the Doom Shadow was banished, the crystals of the fallen dukes and duchesses were destroyed. Only the crown and the Duchy of Ursul maintain active lumens. Okay. I regret to inform you that Fabian, the Earl of Titian, has passed away. Young Lord Adour will not reach his 15th birthday for over 2 years. We are going to send him to his grandfather. He is, interestingly enough, not going to die in this playthrough, which would seem to indicate that our impending marriage to Taleris has caused things to calm down over there because he's not going to murder anybody. So that's nice, I think. Walk in the fresh air helps you forget burdens, so we're going to walk in the gardens. We're still willful. In my notes, at this point, we studied lore. We have filled up lore. So what we're going to do is we're going to study wield magic because we were going to get that eventually anyway. I took a week that was dance and studied lore instead because I felt willful. Little joke there. All right. There's a woman here to see you. She is a musician. It's Sabine, a common musician singing for her supper. And so we don't have any way to tell who she is, so we just keep her as part of the court. I will do my best for you. We are going to explore the castle. All right. At this point, I studied reflexes and flexibility. I do not believe that we ever used them, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Sorry, it's agility, reflexes, and then next week was flexibility. You receive a letter from young Lord Adair. He's fine. We're going to sit in on court sessions. We are now afraid, which gives us a bonus to flexibility. You notice a strange flash of light, but we don't have the divination. We go to the dungeons and poke at people with sticks. And now that we're cheerful, we have a bonus to conversation. And we are going to study flattery. All right. What a beautiful day. It's nice to stop and breathe sometimes. I believe that's the week when normally Adair would be killed, but he isn't. Presumably because you're betrothed to the Duke of Taleris, and he doesn't want to stir up trouble, so he's not shooting arrows over the wall into the next duchy over. We're going to study public speaking. My lady, there are letters from you. Another letter from Briony. There's a birthday celebration. We're going to go to Sudbury for Gwenelle's birthday party. And we are going to attend service. And now, going into week 28, we are going to study court manners. And I'm also going to change to, I don't think it matters, but I'm going to change back to my lumen robe because I'm curious. Oh, that doesn't quite max out wield magic. Gosh darn it. That's fine. Court manners. New outfit. Now we're at the Gwenelle's birthday party. Your uncle, the Duke of Merva, is present, and you realize you have never spoken to him about his wife's death. You wonder if Charlotte and her siblings are here. You notice several people quickly looking away and whispering to their companions when they catch sight of you. You wonder what they are talking about. Reese, the Duchess of Lilla, is present, but somehow always manages to avoid talking to you when you draw near. She's the woman who would have preferred that young Lord Adair come live with her. Or I think he was already living with her. There are refreshments and dancers, and musicians and polite conversations. And then you have this. Will not be shoved aside. Mother, it's my domain now. I need space for myself. You have your own lands to manage. Just because you're of age doesn't mean you know everything, young lady. You need my advice. This is my home. It has never been yours. So we have to pick a side. So we're going to side with Gwenelle. Thank you. Is this what your father will face upon your coronation? Cast aside without another word? So Briony catches up with you. Think of the opportunities you're going to have. Have they told you all the secrets? Like how to get into the old palace. I've heard it's packed with treasure. Nobody ever goes there because the forest is supposed to be haunted. But if she's right, it might be full of treasure. So we're going to offer to help. I don't know any secrets yet, but if you come back to the castle with me, we can check the archives. I'm supposed to go back to school, but I was already planning to sneak off. I'll ditch my escort, sneak ahead, and meet you at the castle. This could be fun. Charlotte! Leave me alone. What? Don't talk to me. Stay away from me. Of course, I killed her mother, didn't I? She'll never forgive me. So that's sad. We're going to attend service. And we're going to put on our new tea dress because it boosts conversation. We are willful again. And so we are going to study internal affairs. Intrigue. We are going to need this in a few minutes. I found a bunch of maps of the area around Catherine Lake. Great! I also found reports on all sorts of really nasty monsters down there. I can't find anyone who's gone to the old forest and come back. Look, I know it's dangerous. I'm not stupid. But you and I are educated noblewomen, not peasants. I'm good with a sword and bow. And you? Don't you have magic powers now that you're queen? Our parents are going to be so impressed. Is that what this is really about? Brianny's parents? So we're going to ask about her parents. Brianny, what is going on with you and your family? Nothing. I think that's the fullest bio we've seen so far. Really, nothing. Ever since Uncle Kevin moved in, my parents don't want anything to do with me. I'm an adult now, you know. Technically, she's 16. And they still say I have to be at school all the time. I'm the heir. I should be spending time in Mead. When did your uncle move in? I don't know. A few years ago, after Grand's divorce. We didn't get enough internal affairs. The Duchess of Lula divorced her second husband, and then he died. He would have been the stepfather of Brianny's mother and uncle. That must have been a stressful time for your family. Yeah, I'm sure. But so what? That was years ago. They've had plenty of time to get over it. I just want them to pay attention to me. If I find the lost treasures of Nova, they have to notice. You've already went away from school. If they don't notice that, they won't notice anything. No, I mean, all you have to do is stay here and wait. Getting into more trouble won't make a difference. Oh, I guess maybe you're right. Thanks, Elodie. You're smarter than I remembered. We're gonna attend service in the Grove. So we didn't have enough internal affairs to... We probably could have dumped the earlier reflexes and gotten internal affairs, but no. It's fine. The Duchess of Mead is here to see you, my lady. Elodie, where is my daughter? Which daughter? You know very well that I only have one. Really, Mother? Because sometimes I don't think you have one at all. Brianny, thank goodness you're all right. Oh, now you care? You certainly didn't want to see me before. You haven't let me come home in ages. Brianny, darling, there are things you don't understand. I don't understand because you never tell me anything. The Duchess sighs and embraces her daughter. Very well. If that's what it will take, come home with me and I will explain everything. So, we're going to go talk to Juliana. Psst, I need to talk to you. What is it? That priestess, Celine. She's a lumen. I can sense it. I know. What do you mean you know? If you knew that, why didn't you tell me? You didn't need to know. Your job is managing the domain. Some of us have other duties. Our missions have been passed down for centuries, little princess. Where did she get a crystal? All the lumens in the domain were supposed to have been wiped out 200 years ago, except for your ancestor. We are here to train you. You don't need to know anything more than that. Order her to explain. We have lore and conversations, so we got a success. Your duty is to me and to Nova. Renegade lumens pose a threat to the entire domain. Have you forgotten Aunt Lucille already? If there is a secret cabal of magic users, I need to know about it. There is no cabal. Celine and yourself and I are the only lumens I know. 200 years ago, my ancestor accepted public disgrace so that one trained lumen would survive when all the others perished. We have borne that shame ever since, to preserve the training and lore for the future of Nova. Do not tell me my duty, princess. I am sworn not to the queens, but to Nova. Queens die. The magic must not. Okay. I think we're going to save the game because we haven't done that in a couple of weeks. A few weeks. 4 weeks. I originally had on my notes us studying wield magic twice, but we only really needed once. So I'm going to throw in a foreign intelligence. Because that was the next thing. Okay. Look at us going. Week 31. Freak gust of wind. You receive a letter from Briony hinting at some of the complicated family drama that has been going on. Her father keeps alternating between wanting a divorce and being afraid of losing his home. There's an extra section at the end of the letter written in code. Her uncle and her stepfather? Her uncle and her mother? No wonder she was trying to hide it. Well, I hope she'll be happier now. Can you even imagine that conversation? Wait a second. Why was there a visit Duchess of... Hold on. Back up. No, that's next week. We're going to 10 Court. Follow the notes. Can you even imagine, though, being in on that? Okay, daughter, come home and I'll explain everything to you. So, technically, me and my brother have been having sex all this time while I've been married to your father. Like, really? Most awkward conversation ever. We're going to study foreign intelligence. And we're going to unlock our cat suit. Things have been so unsettled lately. We're going to hold a tournament. And we're going to offer employment. It's a recruitment drive. Yay. And we're going to sit in on court sessions again. Alright, we're now pressured. Which gives us a bonus to athletics and faith. For some reason, I have us studying Novan history, which makes no sense because I have made a mistake. But I don't know that we ever used it, so I'm kind of okay with not worrying about it, to be honest. I'm going to study foreign intelligence again because I can. And that was next on the list. I'm not sure what history is boosted by. I need to check that. Alright. General tournament. We are going to take a mounted parade. I believe it is interesting that we weren't attacked on the road when we went to the party, and we weren't attacked at the tournament right there. I believe partly that was a matter, and we had nobody sent us, poison chocolates. I believe that's a function of the nobility being happy with us, and also a function of Lucille being dead. Now we're gonna go visit Juliana. If you attack an enemy lumen and you win, and they leave behind a crystal, is it possible to combine that crystal with mine to make it stronger? Each lumen can only hold one crystal. The only way to combine their magic is if a living wielder chooses to join its power to another. So I should destroy the crystals to stop anyone from using them against me. That is the traditional policy, but it is a lie. Lumen crystals cannot be destroyed. Rulers claim otherwise to discourage thieves from seeking dangerous treasure. Guard it or hide it or give it into other hands to wield. But if the last holder of the crystal was an enemy, the resonance of the crystal will work against you. It will be attuned to a personality as foolish or violent or scheming as the lumen you defeated. A weak-willed candidate might be acceptable to the crystal and yet still controllable. You could steer the lumen away from dangerous paths, making an ally and changing the crystal's resonance. It is a dangerous endeavor and one that requires your complete attention. Wait, in the past, all the dukes and duchesses of Nova were lumens. That means all those crystals must be out there somewhere. Okay. I don't know what to study. Everything's gone all cattywampus. It looks like for the rest of the game we're kind of set. So, I'm not going to worry as much as I might otherwise have. I'm going to go ahead and study internal affairs. Alright. Just a second. I have to pause. And we're back. My lady, your father wishes to speak with you. He says it's urgent. Fine, I'm coming. So this is the announcement that the Sanjia War Fleet is coming to get us. So I'm gonna go ahead and recruit soldiers, although we're not actually gonna use them. Fine, we'll do that. What about Taleris? Can we call on any troops from Sedna? Send a message, but even if he agrees, it will take time for his soldiers to mobilize. You need to draw up a naval strategy for our ships to carry out. You could choose to act as admiral and lead the fleet in person, but the danger to you would be very great. Unless you think your personal skills will make the difference, I strongly advise against it. So we're going to direct the fleet. The risk is mine to take. You have your mother's heart. There is one more thing. I hesitate to ask, but an invasion. This is the sort of disaster for which a lumen's power may be worth the cost. If the fleet could be destroyed before they reached our waters, many lives would be saved. I don't know any magic that could sink a whole fleet. I'll have to talk to my mentor. You find a Duchess of Ursul in her guest quarters. A fleet from Sanjia is attacking us. Is it possible to sink them all with magic? It is easy enough to attack one soldier, one ship, as a demonstration. But to obliterate an entire fleet? You would need an immense amount of power spread over a large area, more than any one lumen could control. If you tried to raise that much power yourself, you would die. Not could, would. So it's hopeless. Not necessarily. The most dangerous power of Imperial Nova was that of lumens acting in concert. If the need is great and the will is true, one lumen may choose to give command of her power to another. 3, perhaps 4 people working together might have the strength to destroy a fleet. You, me, and Celine. Will that be enough? It might. Are you willing to take the risk? Such power has its price. But what really irks me, okay, and I will rant about this until Kingdom Come, is that she doesn't tell you what kind of price we're talking about. And so if you're playing this for the first time not knowing any better, a lot of the stuff about lumens being dangerous and magic being dangerous kind of sound like rumors or like things that maybe superstitious peasants come up with, not like actual objective facts that people who study magic and are in charge of holding the secrets of magic would know as facts. And so when she talks about the risk, here you're thinking maybe it means that, you know, Elodie might shave a few years off of her life or get a heart condition or something, which would be horrible, but it would be a risk that would be hers to take. And it's never really clear whether Juliana and Celine know for facts beforehand that the Kraken is a possibility that will arise, but it's a thing that's happened in the past, and it's a thing that they know has happened in the past, and it's a thing they know that has happened to other kingdoms that use lots of magic in this way. So I don't feel like you're making an informed decision here. It's really frustrating to me. I don't feel like Juliana is a good person in the sense that I feel like she's gotten so wrapped up in being a keeper of secrets and yes, being marginalized and treated with suspicion and horribly and everything. I think there's reasons for the way she is, but I think she's gotten so wrapped up in being the keeper of secrets that she doesn't tell them when they need to be told to somebody that needs to know them, here being the queen. This is what I was born for. I say we do it. Then we will begin the preparations. Okay. So I decided I would sneak out, which gives me willful and brings my pressure down. So I'm willful face now. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, but I'm gonna go ahead and sink some naval strategy. To me, it makes sense from a role-playing perspective that you'd brush up on naval strategy before you led the Navy fleet. Danger on the high seas. You and your 2 fellow lumens join hands to focus your powers. Your magical training has paid off by allowing you to stage this attempt at a safe distance from the invading vessels of war. Far in the distance, you hear the roar of the ocean you have charmed as it buckles beneath the incoming ships, opening up a maw of void into which they tumble helplessly. Then, as they fall, the water rushes back in around them, washing over decks and pummeling hulls. Even from so far away, you can see the disturbance you have made rippling through the water. Some of the Shangians may survive, but their threat as an invasion has ended. Yay! Look what we did! I'm just gonna attend service and pray for our glorious victory. So in my notes, I actually maxed out intrigue for the fun of it. But I don't really think it matters, except in so much as it probably affects the last slide of the ending. So just for the fun, and I'm gonna save. I'm gonna max out, or try to max out, military instead. Unless, yeah, no, that's what I'm gonna do. So off we go with logistics. It's a little late, but we're studying things a little bit after they were needed. The magical storms you summoned created giant waves which swept inland as well as out. Damage has been reported along the shoreline from Mazomba down to northern Mari. The beaches are covered with wrack and the bodies of animals, and many fishers and cocklers are missing. Are you blaming me? Of course not. Many more lives would have been lost if the fleet had landed. What worries me is that these reports are increasing, even long after the events of the battle. More than that, an observatory in Taleris has seen strange shapes in the sea to the west. Something worse than a simple storm may have been unleashed. Does that mean a sea monster? We are going to attend service again. And I actually probably should be hunting to up my cruelty, but look at our little epaulets. Classes, no wait, skills. Go back to strategy. Let's do naval strategy. Wait, let me do this smartly. We're getting 30 at a time now because it's 15. And so that would be 80. Yeah. In the Grand Hall, your father is waiting for you. Our fears have been realized. A kraken has risen. A kraken? An enormous tentacled sea monster which can dive and surface at will. It is fast, voracious, and apparently unkillable. Any ship that ventures into its range is at risk. This could destroy Nova's shipping. What can we do? Do we just wait and hope it goes away? No. Quite unexpectedly, the priestess strides into the room. What are you doing here? I came to bring the records of the circle so that you would know what you face. Left alone, the beast will feed until the seas run red, and only then will it sleep. It would cost hundreds of thousands of lives. There are only 2 ways to end its threat. Lumen spell weaving can freeze a kraken in its tracks, holding it motionless, but only for a short time. If the spell is renewed every month, giving the beast no time between castings to move freely, it will eventually sleep. How long would that take? Approximately 7 years. Years! But if at any point the spell cast is too weak or is not renewed in time, it would break loose. And the treasury would be drained keeping up such a routine. What is the other way? It is well known that eldritch beasts can be driven out by sacrifice. The life force of a lumen, or potential lumen on the cusp of adulthood, would be the ideal choice. No, you will not take my daughter. You see, Elodie, this is why I told you to reject them. They are all witches. Even without her mother's crystal, she would still have been a potential lumen. Keeping her ignorant would not have kept her safe. Potential lumen, because I'm my mother's daughter. Which means Charlotte, too. I will not allow this. The choice belongs to the queen. Me. Okay, so there we go. We've got a Charlotte ending because our cruelty. I don't intend to die or put my domain at risk. There is a better way. My cousin is also a potential lumen. Charlotte, but you two were best friends. Maybe when we were little babies, but who cares about that? This is for the good of Nova. So tie her up and throw her to the Kraken if that's what it takes. Your father looks shocked, but fails to formulate a coherent protest. I will take care of it. And that's what you get. Honestly, for it being such a major choice and something that we worked really hard for, I must say, I had expected there to be a little bit more than that. Time has slipped by so quickly. Have you done enough to build a stable Nova? So we're gonna have an extravagant feast. We'll go hunting. Classes will do naval strategy. The castle's buzzing with preparations. You can't see the point of decorations. Your marriage can't take place until you are of age, of course, and considering all the preparations and the need to recover from the coronation, not for much longer than that. Still, it doesn't stop people from buzzing around full of ideas and suggestions. Which don't matter because we're already betrothed. Nothing more to learn about strategy, nothing more to learn about naval strategy. No one will ever take us by surprise again. Not once. Okay, here's our ending. I will. Long live the queen, I will. Let's see what we got. The following year, Elodie and Taleris were married in a ceremony that threatened to rival her coronation for pomp and splendor. Taleris brought with him a gift of fine white horses and encouraged his young wife to amuse herself while he enjoyed his new place in Nova politics. He was clearly in no hurry to provide an heir to the throne, so I would have to test it, and we're not going to do it tonight. But I think that whenever you have him at the ball, that is a chance to assert yourself more independently. We actually told him we didn't know how to dance and asked for his help and relied on his guidance. And I think that was the choice that sort of set the mood for your relationship, that you would trust him and rely on his guidance. I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing. In terms of their personalities, he seems like a nice and intelligent man, and maybe they got along really well. In terms of an ending, I don't know how satisfying it is to me, because, you know, I like it when Elodie, you know, dominates and rules and crushes everyone beneath her heel. So I think that's interesting. I like Taleris, so, but I think that's interesting that maybe I made a poor choice there. Once his daughter was secure on the throne, Joslin returned to his birthplace to focus on his duties as Duke of Taleris. He soon became engaged to Countess Siren. And that one's kind of a bittersweet, sad ending too, because I actually have no problem with Dad remarrying. Like, I don't like the ending where he's like got a little broken heart and he's weeping and he mourns your mother for the rest of his life. I don't think she would want that, you know, so I'm okay with him finding happiness, but he talked about Countess Siren like he didn't like her at all. Like, we all have to do something we don't want. And like, he's only doing it for heirs. So I'd rather him marry somebody he likes. And I'm not sure if there's a good way to avoid that. Like, maybe if we shamed Countess Siren properly or something. I don't know. In the dark of the night, a young girl, bound and gagged, was carried from the royal dungeons to the docks and loaded onto a ship. There she was joined by the Lumen Queen and her trusted priestess. Together they sailed west to the region where the Kraken had last been spotted. The ritual was carried out, and the sea monster was banished. So that's your Charlotte sacrifice ending. Despite their attempts at secrecy, there were many who had caught some glimpse of Charlotte during her captivity, and some who suspected exactly what had become of her. But you had to be careful who you shared such rumors with. If even that sweet-looking young queen was a blood-drinking lumen witch, how could you trust anyone? So, and we don't get a bad lumen ending here, and I think we probably would have, except that I did the lumen propaganda for the printing press, so I think that helped offset our bad lumen points. The invention of the printing press sparked the beginning of a new age of literacy and knowledge. No longer were books the sole preserve of the noble and wealthy. Now information and ideas could be easily passed from one place to another. As the birthplace of this invention, Nova was at the center of a storm of change. Elodie loved the feeling of power at her fingertips. She studied the legends of lumens in the past, in particular their weapons and their wars. Just how had the old queen summoned immortal shadows and bound them to their will? And could she do it again? The people of Nova learned to fear their queen, who ruled with a wicked whimsy. Anyone who dared to displease her might be whipped, or beheaded, or worse, set free to spend the next month in a panic, waiting for the sword to fall. Her rise to power had shaped Elodie into a cruel woman, who took pleasure in the suffering of others. And thus Queen Elodie's legacy stretched into the future. So that is your Sacrifice Charlotte ending. I don't know how long this video was. When I paused, I had to cut it so I don't have a ongoing cut, but I think it's coming close to an hour and a half. Which is honestly not one of our longest ones, so victory. But there was a lot of work. And thank you again to Eric for giving me a shell to work with. I poked and prodded and tweezed at it a little bit, and then of course forgot to put my faith robes on, which really messed us up, and I'm so sorry about that. But all told and all said, I honestly found that a little anticlimactic, which surprised me, because it's not like I wanted to, you know, linger on Charlotte being sacrificed and killed exactly, but I guess I just expected Elodie to talk to her one last time or something. I don't know. It felt a little, I don't know. It didn't seem like, it seemed a little rushed for how hard it was to get her cruelty up and to get the knowledge of Charlotte and to, you know, this and that and the other. I think there's a version of the playthrough where you can, like, I don't know, give Brienne the orange crystal and give Charlotte the purple crystal or something. I need to look it up how because that's one of the achievements is giving somebody crystal, and I don't think I've gotten it. And like I said, we're still trying to achievement hunt. I do want to try to do a playthrough kind of god moded with all the stats maxed out to start, and see if maybe we can shape our own story instead of having to constantly worry about mood and training and stuff like that, because I think that would potentially be interesting. So, I'll see if I can't get that set up. I may not be able to. We'll try. Thanks for watching through another one of these with me. I really appreciate it. Hopefully your Steam achievements, if you're achievement hunting, will take. Mine are taking a while to refresh, but I think that's normal. I will see you in the next video. I don't know what it'll be about. Obviously, I just finished a bunch of this War of Mines, and I did some Reigns, and I don't know what's coming next. I have no idea. And I need to finish up on the book that I'm writing right now, so I need to finish that too. So I was really things busy. But there will be another video, and I will see you in it, and hopefully you'll enjoy that one too. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Anna Mardal. This has been Long Live the Queen by Hanako Games. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye bye.